For stronger legs, older adults should include these 3 vitamins in their nightly routine. Most people believe that weak legs are just a natural part of getting older, something you simply have to accept. But what if that belief is keeping you from discovering the real solution? I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and today I'm revealing 3 essential vitamins that work while you sleep to rebuild strength, restore balance, and protect your independence. The research is overwhelming, yet these solutions remain surprisingly unknown to most older adults. Here's why. Missing just one of these critical vitamins can increase your fall risk by 3 times after age 60, slow down your muscle repair process by more than 1/3, and make painful leg cramps nearly 50% more likely to occur. Before we dive in, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from and what's your age. Hit that subscribe button because I share life-saving health strategies like this every week to help you thrive after 60. Let's start with the first vitamin that most seniors desperately need but rarely take in the right form or at the right time. Vitamin B12 stands as the first critical nutrient for maintaining strong, stable legs and ensuring proper nighttime muscle repair. When your B12 levels begin to decline, the effects show up in your legs first, not simply because your muscles are getting weaker, but because something far more fundamental is breaking down. The communication system between your brain and your leg muscles starts to fail. Think of vitamin B12 as the insulation coating on an electrical wire. Your nervous system relies on clear, fast signals traveling from your brain down through your spinal cord and out to every muscle in your body. B12 is essential for creating and maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective covering that wraps around your nerve fibers. When this protective layer is intact and healthy, nerve signals travel quickly and accurately. But when B12 levels drop, the myelin sheath begins to deteriorate. Signals slow down, become unclear, or don't arrive at all. This is why older adults with low B12 often shuffle their feet, drag their toes, or feel like their legs aren't quite obeying their intentions. Here's the critical problem that catches most seniors off guard. After you reach age 60, your body's ability to absorb B12 from food drops dramatically. As you age, your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, which is the substance needed to release B12 from the proteins in meat, fish, eggs, and dairy products. Even if you're eating these foods regularly, your intestines simply can't extract enough B12 anymore. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, up to 43% of people over 60 have either low or borderline deficient B12 levels, and most of them have no idea. The symptoms creep in gradually over months or even years. It might start with occasional numbness in your feet or tingling in your toes. Then comes stiffness in your legs when you first stand up in the morning. Eventually, you notice weakness when climbing stairs or getting out of a chair. A major study published in the journal Neurology in 2017 followed more than 25,000 older adults over several years. Seniors with low B12 levels were 60% more likely to experience falls compared to those with adequate levels. Even more concerning, they were nearly 3 times more likely to develop significant walking difficulties. The timing of when you take B12 matters tremendously. Your nervous system does most of its repair work at night while you sleep. This is when your body focuses on fixing damaged nerve tissue and strengthening the communication pathways between your brain and muscles. If B12 isn't available during this crucial repair window, your nerves can't recover properly. That's precisely why taking B12 before bed is so important. Unlike stimulants that can interfere with sleep, B12 actually supports calm brain activity, and many older adults report experiencing deeper sleep when they begin taking it at night. Not all forms of B12 work equally well. The most effective type is called methylcobalamin, which your body can absorb much more easily than other forms. The delivery method matters just as much. The best option is sublingual tablets that dissolve under your tongue, allowing the B12 to enter your bloodstream directly and bypass your digestive system entirely. Most people start feeling changes within 10 to 14 days of consistent supplementation. Clinical research has documented cases where elderly patients who couldn't walk without assistance for more than 10 minutes regained complete mobility after just 6 weeks of daily B12 supplementation. Now let's move to the second vitamin, and this one might surprise you. Vitamin D3 is far more powerful than just the sunshine vitamin that helps with bone health. When you understand what it actually does for your muscles, especially after age 60, you'll realize why taking it before bed could be the single most important change you make to your nighttime routine. Here's something that should alarm every older adult. More than 70% of people over 60 are deficient in vitamin D3, and the vast majority don't even know it. They assume that because they spend time outdoors or occasionally sit by a sunny window, they're getting enough. But the reality is very different, and the consequences show up directly in your legs. Weak muscles, slower recovery after even minor physical activity, constant soreness, and a dramatically increased risk of falling all trace back to inadequate D3 levels. Vitamin D3 plays an essential role in something called muscle protein synthesis, which is the process your body uses to create new muscle fibers and repair damaged ones. Every single day, your muscles experience tiny amounts of damage from normal activities like walking, standing, and climbing stairs. This is completely normal as long as your body can repair that damage effectively. But around age 60, your natural ability to rebuild muscle after daily activity starts to decline. When vitamin D3 levels are low, that rebuilding process slows down even further, and this is when sarcopenia begins to take hold. Sarcopenia is the medical term for age-related muscle loss, and it targets your legs first because those are the largest muscle groups in your body. Your thighs, glutes, and calves start to shrink gradually. You might not notice the visual change right away, but you'll definitely feel the functional impact. Getting up from a chair requires more effort. Climbing stairs becomes exhausting. Standing for extended periods makes your legs ache. This decline isn't inevitable, and it's not something you just have to accept as part of aging. In many cases, it's a nutritional problem that can be corrected. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism in 2020 examined older adults with low D3 levels who began supplementing before bedtime. The results were remarkable. Within just 3 months, these individuals experienced a 34% reduction in falls and a 19% increase in measurable leg strength. Those aren't minor improvements. They represent life-changing differences in mobility, confidence, and safety. The reason D3 produces such dramatic results is that it doesn't just help maintain existing muscle. It actually activates specific receptors in your muscle tissue that are responsible for generating strength and maintaining balance. These receptors are most active during deep sleep when your body releases growth hormone, which is why taking D3 at bedtime optimizes its effectiveness. Beyond muscle building, vitamin D3 also helps control inflammation in your muscle tissue. If your calves burn at night or your thighs ache with a deep, persistent soreness that doesn't seem to go away, you might be experiencing chronic microinflammation. This low-level inflammation keeps your muscles in a constant state of irritation, preventing them from recovering properly. A study published in Frontiers in Aging in 2022 found that seniors deficient in D3 had twice as much nighttime leg pain and significantly slower muscle recovery compared to those with adequate levels. After 6 weeks of taking D3 before bed, participants showed measurable improvements in walking speed, balance, and substantial reductions in pain levels. Most older adults make one of two critical mistakes with vitamin D3. They either skip it completely, assuming they get enough from sunlight and food, or they take it in the morning along with their other supplements. The problem with morning supplementation is that you're missing the alignment with your body's natural repair rhythm. Muscle growth and repair don't happen while you're awake and active. They happen at night during deep sleep. Here's why the sunlight assumption is wrong. After age 60, your skin's ability to manufacture D3 drops by approximately 75%. That means even if you spend the same amount of time outdoors as you did 20 years ago, your body is producing only a quarter of the D3 it used to make. Daily walks in the sun, gardening, or sitting outside simply won't provide enough D3 to meet your body's needs anymore. Food sources don't fill the gap either. Very few foods contain significant amounts of D3, and the ones that do, like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified milk, don't provide enough to overcome a deficiency. Supplementation becomes truly necessary for most people over 60. Most older adults benefit from somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 international units each night. Always choose D3, not D2. It's the form your body produces naturally and the form that works most effectively in your system. One critical detail. Vitamin D3 is fat-soluble, which means your body needs some dietary fat present to absorb it properly. Taking your D3 supplement with a small amount of healthy fat dramatically improves absorption. This could be as simple as having it with a handful of nuts, a spoonful of almond butter, or a small piece of cheese. Now, the third vitamin. This is the one almost no older adult talks about, and that's a tragedy because it might be the single most transformative nutrient for quickly restoring leg strength in people over 60. Vitamin K2. We're not referring to vitamin K1, which you get from leafy greens and helps with blood clotting. This is K2, an entirely different form that performs a completely different function in your body. If you're over 60 and your legs frequently feel weak, sore, or unstable, if your knees crack when you stand up, or if your calves feel like they're about to give out halfway through the day, there's a strong chance your body is severely lacking this critical vitamin. Think of vitamin K2 as your body's calcium traffic controller. It directs calcium away from places where it causes problems, like your arteries, joints, and soft tissues, and guides it into your bones where it actually belongs. When K2 is missing from your system, calcium goes rogue. It starts hardening your blood vessels, accumulating in your joints, and stiffening the soft tissues throughout your body. This explains why so many seniors with low K2 levels suffer from both tight, aching legs and brittle bones simultaneously. Their calcium is literally being deposited in all the wrong places. K2 also activates specific genes responsible for muscle recovery. A study published in the journal Nutrients in 2021 examined older adults who took a daily dose of K2, and the results were extraordinary. Quadriceps strength increased by 21%, and standing balance improved by 31% in just 8 weeks. That's genuine muscle activation happening at the cellular level. The participants who took their K2 before bed experienced the greatest improvements because bones and muscles regenerate most rapidly during sleep. Here's where K2 becomes even more powerful. It works in partnership with vitamin D3. Think of them as a team where each member has a specific role. D3 helps calcium enter your bloodstream from your digestive system, while K2 ensures that calcium ends up in your bones instead of your arteries or joints. Without sufficient K2, taking D3 alone can actually backfire by pushing calcium into the wrong places. This is why some older adults who supplement with D3 still experience worsening joint stiffness or arterial problems. The missing piece in almost every case is K2. Beyond calcium management, K2 also enhances how your muscles use glucose for energy and helps form new bone tissue by activating a protein called osteocalcin. A clinical trial published in Aging and Disease showed that seniors who supplemented with K2 experienced better blood sugar control and greater leg endurance during walking tests. When taken at night, K2 helped replenish muscle glycogen stores during sleep, leading to stronger, more energized legs the next morning without fatigue or soreness. The challenge is that K2 is extremely rare in modern diets. It's found mainly in aged cheeses, certain organ meats, and fermented foods like natto. Unless you regularly consume these specific foods, you're almost certainly not getting enough. The MK7 form of K2 is recommended because it stays active in your body longer, providing steadier calcium control and more consistent overnight muscle support. If your legs have been feeling weaker, if stairs have become more challenging, or if you've noticed new aches and pains that weren't there a year ago, the solution might be simpler than you think. The 3 vitamins we've covered today work together to address the root causes of leg weakness that affect so many older adults. Vitamin B12 for nerve communication, vitamin D3 for muscle rebuilding, and vitamin K2 for proper calcium placement. These aren't expensive treatments or complicated medical interventions. They're natural nutrients that your body desperately needs to maintain strength, balance, and independence as you age. The reason most seniors don't know about these specific vitamins, and especially don't know about taking them before bed, is that there's simply no profit incentive to spread this information widely. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent vitamins, and mainstream health media focuses on solutions that generate more revenue. But the scientific evidence supporting these 3 nutrients is overwhelming. You don't have to accept leg weakness as an inevitable part of getting older. You don't have to resign yourself to decreased mobility or increased fall risk. In many cases, the problem isn't aging itself, but rather a fixable, nutritional deficiency that's been quietly undermining your leg strength for years. Taking these vitamins before bed aligns perfectly with your body's natural repair cycle. While you sleep, your nervous system regenerates, your muscles rebuild, and your bones strengthen. Providing the right nutrients at the right time gives your body exactly what it needs to perform these essential maintenance tasks effectively. Many people start noticing improvements within just a few weeks, feeling more stable on their feet, experiencing less pain, and regaining confidence in their movements. If this information has been helpful to you, please hit the like button and share this video with family members or friends who might be struggling with similar leg problems. Make sure you're subscribed because I share science-backed health strategies like this every week to help you thrive after 60. Your legs have carried you through decades of life, and they deserve the support they need to keep you moving forward. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of those legs.